I want to discuss another man, Donald Trump, who is all over the Epstein files, like former Prince. Here's a video. Like former Prince Andrew, Donald Trump attended various parties with Jeffrey Epstein. I want to know, were there any underage girls at that party or at any party that Trump attended with Jeffrey Epstein?
This is so ridiculous, and that they are trying to deflect from all the great things Donald Trump has done. There is no evidence that Donald Trump has committed a crime. Everyone knows that. This has been the most transparent presidency. He's the one that asked that those files
I'm reclaiming my time.
be
I got your
released.
answer. You said there's no evidence.
Trump asked
Mr. Chairman, please
that
stop
he
the clock.
sign
Please stop the clock.
the legislation. This is ridiculous.
Time belongs to the gentleman from California.
Okay. I'm going to put up another document from a witness who called the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, because I believe you just lied under oath. There is ample evidence in the Epstein file.
Don't you ever accuse me of a crime.
I believe you just lied under oath, and this is all on videotape. You said there's no evidence of a crime. I'm showing you, here is a witness statement who called into the FBI's Threat Operations Center. He drove Donald Trump around in a limo. He overheard what Donald Trump said to Jeffrey on his cell phone. He was so angry, he was going to stop a limo and hurt Donald Trump. And he met a girl who said she was raped by Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein. She later had her head blown off, and officers at the scene said that could not have been suicide. No one at the Department of Justice interviewed this witness. You need to interview this witness immediately. Epstein should rot in hell, so should the men who patronized his operation. And as we say here today, there are over 1,000 sex trafficking victims, and you have not held a single man accountable. Shame on you. If you had any decency, you would resign right after this hearing concludes.
The gentleman has expired.
May I respond?
Yeah, I don't know how you respond. No one can.
I did not
can
ask a
respond,
question,
but
Mr.
he
Head.
doesn't
You're
want
allowed
to talk
to.
about
I did
the
not ask a
horrific
question.
crime in California. He does not want to talk about
I did not ask a
crime
question.
in his
She
state.
can't just
Madam
ad
Attorney
lib
General.
stuff. I did not ask a
Trump.
question.
It will be.
Imagine calling a public FBI tip line with an unverified rumor, and then just days later, hearing your exact words read aloud and completely weaponized on the floor of Congress.
It is wild. And today's deep dive is into a raw C-SPAN transcript where that exact scenario plays out between Attorney General Pam Bondi and a representative from California discussing Donald Trump and the Epstein files.
But before we really get into it, we need to set the ground rules for this deep dive.
Right, because this material is incredibly politically charged, I need to state right up front that this deep dive is completely impartial. We are not taking sides or endorsing any viewpoints from either political spectrum here.
Yeah, exactly. We are simply reporting the exact claims made in the source text you shared with us.
Our mission is just to unpack these severe allegations and the fierce pushbacks to understand how this machinery actually works.
And reading this raw transcript, I mean, it is really like stepping into the middle of a legal thunderstorm. You basically have to observe the lightning strikes without getting hit.
That is a great way to put it. And the lightning here, the spark that ignites this whole explosive argument, is a very specific document.
Right. The California gentleman reads from a witness statement submitted to the FBI's National Threat Operations Center.
Now, we really need to clarify what that center actually is.
Yeah.
Because it is not some highly vetted vault of verified intelligence.
No, not at all.
It is essentially a public intake center. It's a tip line where literally anyone can call in and report anything.
And the claims from this specific caller are incredibly intense. I mean, the caller claimed to have driven Donald Trump in a limo, supposedly overheard this angry phone call between Trump and Jeffrey Epstein.
Right.
And even met a girl who claimed she was assaulted by both men.
And it gets darker. The representative notes that this girl later died of a gunshot wound.
Wait, really?
Yeah, and he claims officers at the scene actually said it couldn't have been a suicide. So the crux of his entire argument, his main accusation against the DOJ, is that they never even interviewed this witness.
Okay, let's unpack this for a second. How does a raw, unverified public tip line call get utilized as ample evidence in a formal congressional hearing.
It is a massive leap.
I mean, in a normal courtroom, a judge would throw that out immediately as hearsay, right?
Oh, absolutely. But you see, a congressional hearing isn't a courtroom. Members of Congress have these broad protections.
Like a form of congressional privilege?
Exactly. It allows them to read documents into the public record to establish a narrative, and they do this without facing the legal repercussions of defamation.
So traditional evidentiary standards just fly right out the window.
Completely. He uses this uninterviewed witness statement to boldly claim Attorney General Bondi lied under oath when she said there was no evidence.
But isn't he bringing up this specific unverified tip because he feels the broader investigation is just being ignored?
Yes, he is expressing this deep frustration.
Because he explicitly points out that out of 1,000 trafficking victims, not a single man has been held accountable. He even demands she resign.
He does. And the severity of those unverified claims directly triggers a visceral and frankly very forceful defense from the Attorney General.
Oh, yeah, she goes right on the offensive.
She vehemently rejects the accusation. She actually shouts, "Don't you ever accuse me of a crime."
And her defense is just absolute. She asserts there is zero evidence Donald Trump committed a crime, and then she instantly pivots to calling his presidency the most transparent.
Right. She claims the representative is just bringing this tip up solely to deflect from the administration's accomplishments.
It is honestly like watching two trains collide on parallel tracks. One is completely focused on this FBI document, and the other is just entirely focused on defending the administration and personal integrity.
And what's really fascinating here is how quickly procedural decorum just shatters.
Oh, totally. They start talking over each other.
Yeah, demanding things like reclaiming my time. The underlying issue, the victims you mentioned earlier, that just gets completely lost in these accusations of lying and demands for resignation.
Which is exactly why this transcript matters so much to you listening. It vividly illustrates what happens when unresolved, systemic legal issues collide head-on with high-stakes political theater.
Right. The actual search for truth gets totally hijacked.
It leaves us with this really critical dilemma. When public hearings become arenas for presenting uninterviewed tip-line claims on one side and blanket political defenses on the other.
You end up essentially laundering rumors into permanent government documents.
Exactly, which forces us to ask, how can our justice system actually go about separating actionable intelligence from partisan spectacle?
That is the big question.
So think about that the next time you see a viral clip from a congressional hearing. Are you watching a factual investigation, or are you just watching the rules of congressional privilege being pushed to the absolute limit to create a soundbite?